okay? You're all very polite. That wouldn't work in a salon, okay? FYI. This is called Absolute Zero, and I think it was written the second week in October. To have seen what I saw only yesterday, you would beg for God, as my heart did, though it knew better, kneeling and folded in on itself. Circumcised eye, mouth hymning a tonsure, I saw a crimson hole in the delicate skull of a baby, going gray in the arms of her rescuer, who prayed over her to himself. I would see God, not this world we made in its image. I would God saw what I saw, not through me, but on my behalf, not through me, but as my advocate. Lucre and bullion, the orbs of Milton and Galilee, the lenses of Spinoza and Buchner, the sunsets of Borges, the sons of Stevie Wonder and Al-Ma'ari. Father knows best. Beauty was in the eye of the beholder. What I saw, I did not know how to see. God Almighty, if there is a God, you must see it for me. It's okay, it's very sweet. Okay, so does anyone else feel exhaustion in their eyes or find despair is bred through them? Yeah. It's interesting because in a lot of the old books, and right now in my fake school, we're studying Milton. I know it's real, but it's still fake. We're studying Milton, and it's really interesting. In a lot of the old stories, corruption happens through the ear. And I'm not saying that we're being corrupted through our eyes. That's not what I mean to say. I only mean to say that a despair and a horror and even a kind of insanity, if I am only speaking for myself, is produced. And in the case, I suppose I wanted to say a word or two about the frenemy, the role of the frenemy, given that this is Manet Degas, and the peculiar irritation of a mutually inspiring rivalry. I don't know if any of you have experience of such a thing in your personal and professional lives. Certainly, no, you don't have any rivals. Yeah, no. It bears some gentle attention only because it is highly irritating. It is highly irritating to be inspired by and feel oneself in a kind of competition with a peer, even though Manet and Degas weren't. Well, they were peers. I think Degas lived longer, right? A lot longer. Thank you. I think I'm supposed to say something about not trying to escape or drown or hide one's emotions. I think I'm supposed to say something to you about having spent the last 2.5 weeks reading poetry through all the dark cities of Europe for some reason. I don't know why. I agreed to do it. I don't know why. But I realized that what's so anguishing and difficult also about what is happening, and also quite powerful, and perhaps even psychedelic, is the fact that there's no escape. There's no escape. You could try to numb your body. You could try to put your eyes out. You could try to numb your feeling. You could try to, I don't know, like go into a cave. But that will only work temporarily. And I think that that's very, very interesting. It's where we begin to have to come back into the soft inadequacy of our own house, our own body, and kind of sit pathetically with one another, as it were. So I'm just going to read to you one more poem, maybe two. This one is called Cain. It's about a rivalry. Some of you will remember the story. Cain and Abel were the sons of Adam and Eve, and Cain murdered Abel. So it's sort of interesting. Things started off badly immediately in the primary Judeo-Christian origin story. So one brother kills the other brother right away. Generation 2, murder. I don't mean to make light of it, although what else can I do? So I'll just read it to you. Cain. The city was humming gently under me like an adolescent quaffing deeply from the cup of righteousness. Out of practice with my own world, I was looking at how someone else saw it. Longer than I realized, longer than I cared to admit. Those goggles left a mark on me. Then I stared at my own face. An invitation came with my face to melancholy while nature purred at the edges of my perception. And before me lay a broad road enjoining me to do of myself and make of myself according to the American tradition. Secretly, I felt and knew things I had not perceived my body turning into secrets. In other words, I did not notice the mechanism by which something within me noted my experiences and apprehensions of the truth would not be met with favor if I spoke them, which is not to say one speaks only to find favor. Only that unreciprocated realities have a boring way of haunting the cells, pulling them somehow down, like the countenance of Cain, which fell one day and never rose again. And the fall of his face rhymed with the fall out of Eden, leading to the first murder and the invention of cities where we now find ourselves, each tower the ghost of a farmer who failed to meet the favor of the Lord. Okay, so one of the things that interests me a lot in the old books that I study is farmers are not respected by God. This is something we see again and again. I don't know why. I have one, let's see, do I have it? Yeah, I do. I have one last poem, but I want to just like have a little chat with you first, and we can kind of